Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 4. AMC posted a behind-the-scenes glimpse, and it gives us a real general idea that we can pretty much confirm, again, a real general flow for Fear the Walking Dead's timeline and story elements, or at least the main plot points that this and all the trailers seem to be hinting towards. Now, for those who haven't caught up yet, Lenny James playing Morgan Jones from The Walking Dead crossing over into Fear the Walking Dead. There's no more speculation. It's official. It's confirmed. It's 100% without a shadow of a doubt. It is taking place after the events of All Out War. Now, that's not to say there's no surprises where it's after the events of All Out War, but not immediately after, maybe a year after. We don't know if they're going to have any surprises like that, so that's still on the table. But besides that, it doesn't really change the fact that it's after. It's not in the middle of Season 3. It's not in between Seasons 1 and 2 of the original show, where we didn't know what Morgan was doing. None of that. It is completely after. Now that we cleared that up, because we're still getting comments like, oh, what if it's, you know, wedged in between here and here and here. No, it's after. It's just after. All right. What they're going to do, because that is a few years ahead of where we were in Fear last, where the dam blew up in Season 3, what they're going to do, and they spell it out rather clearly in this behind the scenes, they even showing us some footage like with Lucy, for example. Oh my God, how perfect was that? Wait a minute, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yeah, like with Lucy, for example, they show Lucy in this, and I don't know if this is for the behind the scenes, but it's like this in the trailer as well, but it's faded, like it's a flashback. They also show a few images of walkers and other action scenes that are also faded like it's a flashback. So in order, obviously, to catch up the timeline between where they were separated at the end of Season 3 and then where Morgan Jones enters the picture in Season 4, obviously they got to fill that gap of time. So what it appears from this behind the scenes in the trailers is they established a community, a settlement, obviously. So we're going to be most likely starting in present day with the timeline caught up with Morgan in present day. So the Morgan stuff's going to be present day. Then they're going to be flashing back, depending on how they roll out the story, and show how Lucy reunites with Nick. How Nick and Madison and Strand and hopefully Daniel. I really want Daniel back. But they're going to show how all those characters, the original Fear characters, reunite. And I'm hoping this doesn't last all season. I would like for them to get it out of the way in the first couple episodes. Maybe tinker with it for the first half of season. That's fine with me, but we're going to do the flashback reuniting the characters from Fear. They're going to find, establish, and grow this settlement. And then the Morgan Jones and the new characters are going to be connecting, and that's where the story is going to really intertwine, I feel. The present day story arc, which is the most important, because the flashback characters, the only importance there, in my opinion, is to just set it up and show us how they reunited. We don't even got to go that in depth, because all tension is lost. If it's a flashback of Lucy and there's walkers and all, the tension is gone. We know she's going to make it out of it. See what I mean? So that's why I hope they just clear up the flashback, show them setting up the settlement. We do get hints like Nick talking to that little girl. So there's a hint that that's how we might get some type of flashbacks, where we see a little bit in the future, in present day, and then they flash back to after the explosion, and then boom. Forgive me, I'm new down south. I'm only living here a couple years now, and the pollen, I never had allergies in my life, but the pollen still screws with me. I hate this time of year with the pollen outside. But anyway, the storyline for Fear the Walking Dead is probably, at this point in time, is the most exciting for me personally. But where we're going to wrap this up, where the storyline goes from the combination of the new characters and old characters, and also highlighting past events and how they reunited, Morgan's coming out of a big fight, the big all-out war battle. We hear some little hints that there's going to be some conflict with another group, where Madison walks out and she's like, we're not going anywhere. Essentially, Morgan's coming from the big fight from All Out War. Our original Fear characters intertwining with the new characters have set up this settlement, and then we're going to get this conflict. And I think that's where Morgan's story really kicks off. He's coming from this experience with two big communities, or multiple communities at odds with each other, and it seems like we're going to have that same situation. Hopefully it's going to play out differently, not so repetitive, happen with Madison and the original Fear characters. Well, all the new characters in Fear the Walking Dead. We do see, like this, for example, we can pinpoint this is Alicia in present day, obviously because it correlates to other scenes with her in that clothing, and it's I believe that's when roundabout when Morgan is there. So you see how we kind of see her in this shirt in the settlement. It looks like she's making something. We got Nick here, and this is the new showrunner, by the way, one of them, Ian Goldberg. I believe they're brothers. But go and watch this. I can't play it here because of copyrights, but I really get a good vibe from the showrunner when he's speaking here. Now there's something with a container, and it looks like Madison goes to fix something in the settlement. She and another character fall in this container where it's like this really black, murky water, and Strand hits the, I believe it's towards the end. Yeah, Strand hits this door, and all the walkers and Madison, and I'm assuming the other girl in there with her, all pour out. And that's what we see Madison looking really rugged, talking to Morgan in the one trailer. So that's how we can pinpoint that's present day. And you could start piecing it together. And Morgan falls through a roof of a house. Now this looks different, but we could start pinpointing that we're going to show a little bit of Morgan on his travels before he even reconnects with the group. Morgan running into an enemy and then running into other characters. It could be just bandits on the road or like little clusters of bad people, or Morgan can run into a part of the group that's connected with what is going to be the big bad of Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, and then getting a hint, a glimpse at what they're like, running into Madison and their family, getting a hint at what they're like, and then maybe offering some advice or some assistance. We do see Morgan pull a grenade. I think it's right here. He pulls this grenade, he puts it on this walker, and I love how it looks like there's little bits of blood and guts just flying out. I could be wrong, that could be rubble, but it just has this dust spray as if they meant for it to be some body parts of walkers, which was really neat. Here's the one scene I was talking about where Madison walks out, and in the trailer it looked real weird because she looks like she used shit to make herself stylish. It had this real weird look, and she walks out like all badass, and in the trailer it just looked off, you know, but now you know she was in a mucky situation. She comes out and it looks like she's approaching a messenger from a different community, or someone like a bandit. I don't even know how to put it, like just a group of assholes. It looks, because they're obviously on the defensive, everyone's holding out guns like, yo, don't come any closer, and Madison, being the leader, just getting out of that literal sticky situation, walks forward being the badass, and she's like, listen, we ain't going anywhere, you know. And I think that's the exact scene where they're threatening the new big bad. I love this poster they got, though. Yeah, I like that poster right there. That's badass. And Madison's got her own little kill coat. Look at this. All right, and then Alicia has a signature weapon finally. It looks a little strange. I'm curious to see what that is. It looks like some kind of tactical military thing, or it is something from a gun. You ever see the guns? And I don't know what it's called. I love guns, but I don't know all the you know, technical stuff. But you ever see the guns where I guess it's so it doesn't overheat? It has the air holes. It looks like that, but it's sharpened into some type of kill tool. Yeah, here's that weapon here. I have to admit, it looks pretty badass. I'm curious to see what's gonna pop off here. And I know we don't have any concrete information or reveals about who or if there's going to be that specific big bad, but I really do feel like if you want a general idea of what you're going to get into with Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, I think that's pretty much it, at least for the first half of the season, definitely. Morgan, present day. Our Clark original, you know, Fear the Walking Dead characters, present day in their settlement, and then flashing back to A, see how everyone reunited, and B, see how they either found or grew this settlement that they're living on. And then that story will work itself into, again, the present day, where we are all caught up with everyone's background and past and all the different events setting up the communities. And then we start intertwining the old characters with the new characters. And then from that point on, we shift over into the big bad, or the threats, the different type of threats, being not just different human threats or walker threats, but also self-preservation, growing the food, getting different stuff. Obviously, characters are leaving. That is dangerous every time they have to leave the community. Nick makes a comment about how pretty soon they'll have enough where they don't have to go outside of the community, assuming he's talking about scavenging. And I think that's also something that's going to be sprinkled throughout this season, because showing how the community functions and operates is going to be an important aspect, or else it's not going to make the world feel like it's actually, you know, organic and fleshed out. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, leave your thoughts and opinions about Fear the Walking Dead Season 4. I can't say any more other than I am loving everything I am seeing from this, and I'm very excited for the premiere, which we will do a combination, it seems, after show, a live after show of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead on April 15th. I believe that's when it airs, and that'll likely be after Fear airs, and that way we can cover both, because they're one after the other, you know. So come back here for that after show. Every Sunday night we do a Walking Dead after show at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Alright guys, thoughts and opinions down there. I'm done talking. It's your turn.